I had to I was on break at my job. Like I worked at a call center and I was on break, like literally on break, like talking about like how I'm gonna fly out to meet Uzi. That was crazy. Like you don't want to be in the DM like on your knees, like begging, bro. You don't want to be that dude. Like music producers, it seemed like they hate everything music related. We got musicians like complaining about music. Like you gonna get like 100 emails and then email them all day, every day. Like you might not hear anything for like months.
W tym odcinku będę rozmawiał z Harperem, czyli z producentem ze Stanów Zjednoczonych. Produkował on m.in. dla Lil Uziego Verta czy Yeata i generalnie sporo porozmawiamy sobie o muzyce, o tym jak spotkał się z Uzim, o tym jak wyprodukował platynowy numer Uziego i o wielu innych rzeczach związanych z robieniem bitów, z byciem producentem oraz oczywiście porady dla was oglądających. Także bez zbędnego gadania już zaczynamy. What's going on, guys? Today I'm with Harper.
Good.
First of all, tell me how long you've been making music and what inspired you to make it in the first place.
I've been making music since like 2017, and really what inspired me is like just listening to Kanye West, like how he flips samples, how he chops samples. Kid Cudi, like Kid Cudi's my favorite artist. In terms of producers, like Timbaland. Timbaland was like the first producer I heard. Like, damn, you could put like animal noises in a beat. You could put like pieces of paper. You could do whatever you want in the beat and just like be creative. So really like those three people.
And you just went platinum, right? So congratulations, and tell me more, because you was working with Uzi, right? And this record that you went platinum was with Uzi. So tell me more about how did you met Uzi, how did that record came about, and all of that stuff.
So yeah, Prices just went platinum by itself, like as a single, which is crazy. So I think it was like late 2019 or early 2019, one or the other. I was just like sending beats out. Like I used to go on Twitter, and this is when you could use Twitter like without an account. So I would go on Twitter and search the phrase send beats, because like everybody knows like whenever artists need beats, they're gonna tweet like send beats to blah blah blah. So I would search send beats, and it was this account called Send Beats Bot, and they retweet like every time somebody has those words in a tweet. So I would go on this account and I would just like look through all the people that was like posting they need beats, and I saw an engineer and her name was Keisha, Uzi old engineer, and she had tweeted like upcoming producers send whatever to this email. So I sent like 5 beats to the email at like 3 a.m, not even thinking none of it. And then like 2 hours later, bro, I got an email back. She was like, he used this one. He used this one. And I was like, bro, what? And then from then on, I just like kept building a relationship. And then eventually she was just like, he wants to fly you out. Like he wants to meet you. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know what to say, bro. I had to I was on break at my job. Like I worked at a call center and I was on break, like literally on break, like talking about like how I'm going to fly out to meet Uzi. That was crazy. Maybe it was because I didn't use social media at the time. Like I didn't use Instagram, nothing. Like I just used Twitter without the account because I was trying to like make it without using social media. I don't know, like a challenge or like just show people you could do it without social media. So maybe that was like what made me intriguing to him to like want to meet me. But yeah, it was crazy, man.
But what happened when you met him?
He was just regular. So like I met him 2 times. The first time I met him was in February, and it was at the end of February. So my mom's birthday is March 1st, so I had to leave and come back. But I came back like the next week. When I met him the first time, like I just walked in the studio and it was just like music blaring. Like this is my first time even being in the studio. So like music blaring, bro. Like the bass so loud. It's like I feel it in my heart, bro. So I walk in, it's just like working on dying. It's like Oogie Man, Forza, I think his name was like Jarek, and then like a couple other people. And I just like sat by the door, like kind of like this. And then Uzi, he just walked in like right beside me. And he just like looked at me. He was just like, what's up? And then he just walked in. He just started talking to me. He was like, so where are you from? I was like, Tampa, Florida. And then we just started talking about that. And really, that was it. And he was just like, you want to hear the songs? And he just played me. He played me Prices and like a bunch of unreleased songs we had. But it was crazy.
Yeah, that's dope. And what would you say are the most important things when it comes to like building this relationship with artists when you meet him in person and all of that other stuff to really not fuck up, let me say?
I would say just be a regular person. Like, don't act like a fan, like act like you've been there before. Cause like, that's kind of how I was. Like, I wasn't like, ooh, like I can't wait. Or like, you could be excited, but you just got to know, like, you just got to know how to act in a situation. So like just be a regular person, man. Like,
Okay.
don't be like asking for pictures all the time. Just like play your role.
And when it comes to meeting the, let me say, famous people or whatever, like you met Wondagurl as well, right?
Yeah, one of the girls, she was there the second time I went.
Okay, and how it was, basically?
One of the girls was crazy because we didn't even make no music because we was both there like super early, but we couldn't figure out how to like, there was plugs everywhere all over the studio, cables all over the floor. So we couldn't figure out like which cables needed to plug in to like actually produce like output. So we was just like, forget it, man. And we just sat down on the couch and we was just talking for like 4 hours. We just talked about like Canada versus like USA, like the food. We talked about like drums, just music. Like I gave her a bunch of drums. Yeah, we just talked. Like that's really how you build relationships though. Just like talking like as a regular person, as a friend versus just like coming together, just talking about music and stuff like that.
So, some time ago, you just did the interview with Lyrical Lemonade, right? So, tell me more about this interview. Like, they reached out to you, how it was?
Yeah, I think the Lyrical Lemonade interview, I think I did that with my dude Jack, journalist I knew, and he had reached out to me and we did that. I think that was in like 2021 maybe. But yeah, I only did Lyrical Lemonade and Rolling Stone. Those are the only interviews I ever done.
Okay, cool. And like, do you make a living of your music by far?
Mhm.
How does your day look like as a full-time producer right now?
Full-time producer, well, you got to have a schedule, like, or at least I do. So I wake up, make beats, work on old beats, touch up old beats. And then I got like a whole contact list of just people I just networked and came across over the years. And I just send out beats, work on collabs. And then from there, you might watch a movie or something because you don't want to like just flood yourself, like overdo music. You just get like, that's how you get beat block and stuff.
Yeah, facts. But like, you work mostly from home or you go to the studio sometimes as well?
Mostly from home.
And that's the way you prefer, or like why from home? Like, I'm just asking because some people prefer going to the studio, some people prefer working from home. And what's your point at this?
I really prefer working at home because that's kind of like all I know. Like that's kind of just what worked for me is just like sending beats like over email. So I just really stick to working from home. But either or is cool. Like if you got people you know that go to the studio, like that's beneficial as well. So whatever works for you.
And when it comes to sending out stuff, because like you said, you send out a lot, what would you say are the crucial rules by sending out like loops or beats or whatever?
If you send in like just the file, like just send an MP3 instead of Wave, but probably just use Dropbox. Like Dropbox is probably like the most preferred. Don't send like too many beats. Like I would say 5 max.
Okay. I heard some of your stuff, right? So I hear that you got your own sound, right? So what would you say are the best tips for building that sound? Really advice for producer who's trying to stand out from other producers, to do the same stuff as others, to really build their own sound?
I don't know, because I wouldn't even say I have a sound. Like I don't know, probably because I don't know, I'm so versatile. I guess like that's my sound. I don't know. But tips for building your own sound, I would just say just go through every sound you have in your drums, like in your kits. Just like go through all your sounds, use everything. That's what I would say.
What's your opinion on the whole game right now when it comes to producers? Like sending out stuff, the beats they make, the loops they send out, the whole thing when it comes to all of the producer stuff. What would you say we do good? What do we do bad? What's your opinion in general?
I don't really know in terms of what we do good or bad. Like I can't really speak. I'm not like the spokesperson for the producer union or the producer community, so I don't know. But I would say I see a lot of like complaining too much. It seems like music producers, it seems like they hate everything music related. Like
I know
like
what you mean.
we got musicians like complaining about music. Like, I don't know. I just see a lot of complaining. Just like a lot of negativity about trivial stuff. Like, oh, kicks are dead. Like, we arguing if like we should be using kicks or 808s and like what snare we should be using. Like, just make music, bro. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's true. Going back to the studios and all of that stuff, or producing in general, do you have any crazy stories with other people, with placements or whatever, like that basically happened to you over your producer career?
Nah, just like me and Uzi, really. Like that was crazy because he pretty much played me like every song we ever made. We just chilled and talked because I went there the first time. I was there for like a few days, and the second time I went for like a week. So we was really just kicking it. Like we just sit on the couch, talk. We had a basketball rim like on the door. So Like, funny story. I walked in, I was just like standing by the door, bro. And like, I just look over my head and all I see is like Uzi jumping over me, dunking over the top of my head. That's the type of vibe we was on, just like chilling. Nothing too crazy. Cause like Uzi, he's just a regular person, bro. Like, I know some people, like, they be getting starstruck, like, oh, when I met blah, blah, they was glowing and all this shit. But like, nah, he's just a regular person, bro.
And do you mostly work alone, like you collaborate with other producers, you use loops or whatever, like, or you just mainly do solo stuff and sending out to artists?
When I first started, it was like solo and like sampling, like really sampling, like digging on YouTube and stuff. But now it's like mostly loops. And then I'll like add on some, I might add on like some notes or something, but mostly loops.
Okay, cool. Do you had any advice for dealing with haters and people not believing in you, like when it comes to not only haters, but let's say parents or whatever, like when some people, producers trying to go full time or like pursue their career and all of that stuff, what's your advice to people who are trying to do that and they got some sort of people that are blocking them?
I would just say, just keep going. Like of course people gonna hate on you, like, cause you're doing something that's out of the norm. But like the number one thing I would say is just don't quit. Like if you really want to accomplish them, just don't quit. Cause if you put in the hours, like if you keep going, if you're getting better, like the universe has no option, like has no other choice but to open it up for you. If you're putting in hours, you putting effort towards it, being positive towards it, it's gonna happen. You can't really worry about like people saying, oh, look at what they doing, look at what they doing. Cause most of the people saying that, they're just living like a regular life. Like they're just going to like a corporate job or like regular 9 to 5. So of course they ain't gonna understand you trying to be something that's extraordinary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And what would you say was the most important lesson that you learned along your whole producer career, like that you think is going to be useful for other producers?
Getting an entertainment lawyer, that should be the first thing you do.
Why is that?
Because an entertainment lawyer, they're going to track down anybody they need to. Like if you trying to get paid, like they're going to be on top of making sure you getting your every royalties you can from the label. Like they're just going to do everything for you, because like it's kind of hard to do it if you just a producer by yourself. Like you don't know who to reach out to, like, because these labels, they got like emails up that are automated. So having a lawyer, like they have the connects to know who to email and who to reach out to fight for you.
Going to the whole producing thing, like beats and all of that stuff, what do you use basically? Like you use FL, what VST do you use? You can spill out some sauce for people who are trying to really get inspired or whatever, like just some VSTs, some plugins or whatever. What do you use basically?
I use FL Studio 11, but I don't really use nothing crazy in terms of like VSTs or like effects. Like I just use Looperator on like hi-hats and percussion and like effect tricks. That's really it in terms of like effects. And everything else is just mixing. Like on my drums, like I don't put anything on the drums. I just turn them up basically. It's just leveling.
So would you say that keeping it simple is probably the best way, right?
Yeah, because if it's getting placed on like a major label, once you send it off, they're gonna have the engineer come through and then they gonna compress all your drums anyway. So they gonna add their own presets on your drums anyway. So
okay, so that's a kind of different topic, but what's your take on AI and literally like being the, you know, the danger for producer and all of that stuff? Like we can hear that opinions, right? So what would you say about it? Or you was not digging into it basically?
I don't know. I feel like AI and music, like it's like with anything, it's a double-edged sword, because like it could be beneficial. Say if you have beat block or you need to hear like what's missing in the beat, maybe you could pull in like AI vocals and place them over the beat, and they could reveal what you need to take out of the beat or maybe what you need to add to it. But then again, on the negative, we gonna have people just like AI and like whole entire beats. Like you gonna have the lazy side of it. So there's positives and there's negatives, but I don't know. I think we need a little bit more time to see like how it's going to be overall, because right now it's like the wild, wild west.
Yeah, facts. And going back to the production and the whole process of becoming a producer, what would you say was the toughest thing to do in your career to overcome, like when it comes to, I don't know, making beats or whatever? Like what was the hardest thing to really deal with?
I would say getting ignored, because you're going to get ignored like a lot when you first start out. You're going to get like 100 emails and then email them all day, every day. Like you might not hear anything for like months. So that's a hard part, but you just got to stay focused. Like you got to keep at it. Because the second you have that thought or that second thought about like if I should be doing this or not, that's like energy that's taken away from you achieving the goal.
I gotta ask about this because that's a very general question, but do you have any advice to getting placements? Like what would you say is the important stuff that producer has to remember when it comes to creating beat for the artist and like making those connections from the internet or whatever, like Instagram, reaching out, like the whole process of getting placement? What would you say are the most important things?
I would say I can liken it to basketball. Like I would say field goal attempts. Like you want to shoot as many field goals as you can, like send as many DMs as you can, like send as many emails as you can. On Instagram, the main thing I would say is finding engineers or A&Rs that's like close to the artist, because you're not going to just DM Lil Baby and he going to reply. Like,
Yeah.
So find like Lil Baby's engineer or his A&R, somebody at the label that could pass your beats through or you could build a relationship with.
Would you say that producers should be independent or like working with, like you said, managers or whatever, like other people is nearly crucial?
I would say it really depends on your situation, because I haven't had a manager and like obviously achieve success. So it really depends on your situation, I would say.
And for now, do you work on specific project or do you like send out for specific artists? Like, do you working on something that is probably gonna drop or whatever? Like, do you have any main goal right now, basically, when it comes to your production?
Right now, and well, long-term goals, I want to curate the 2K soundtrack.
Okay, so how does it look like when it comes to supplying the track? Like, they pick it or whatever? How does it look like?
I'm not sure in terms of that. Like, that's really a long-term goal. Like, once I'm really like where I want to be and established and have leverage. But short-term, like, I'm really just trying to just run up these placements. Like, I'm really trying to work with Glorilla right now.
Okay, so you as a producer that have already placements, right? And trying to work with other big artists, what's your like process of doing that? Like just making the best beats that you can and as much and then sending out, or is like something more to it?
Really just establishing a relationship, like I said, with the people around them, like the engineer, like the recording engineer or who's mixing, because those are the people that's gonna like hit and play on the beats. They're the ones loading up the email, like hit and play and selecting whatever beats. Say I want to work with like, my goal is like to work with Rod Wave, right? I would go and try to find Rod Wave's engineer, his A&R, his manager, something, build a relationship with them, and then get to a point in a relationship where I could send beats to them for Rod Wave. You got to get your foot in the door somehow, but also like not in a needy way, like in a way of like service of something you could provide. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it. So neediness is like one of the worst things, right?
Yeah, that's terrible. Like you don't want to be in the DM like on your knees, like begging, bro. You don't want to be that dude.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, and also the other music, right? Like, I don't know, other genres and all of that stuff. Yeah, like not only listen to trap,
Yeah.
like 24/7.
That's
Yeah.
what I should have talked about, bro. Like, don't listen to rap music, man. Don't listen to rap music if you're trying to be versatile as a producer.
Yeah, would you say that that's the key for making unique stuff? And like you said, versatile also?
Yeah, because, well, I wouldn't say don't listen to rap, but if you want to be versatile, like, don't be so stuck in now. Like, go listen to stuff from the past. Like, go listen to stuff from 3 eras ago, like just different eras, because that's how you really make something new. Because nobody is like, unless you like Tesla or something, like nobody just creates like some new out of thin air. Like it comes from something.
Yeah.
So the more you listen to, the more knowledge you have and the more history you have in your mind to pull from to create something new. Because think about it, like if I want to be a producer and like I only listen to like Lil Baby, like the only thing I'm gonna be able to pull from is like a Lil Baby beat, like no matter what I hear, versus like if I have somebody that listens to Bjork, they listen to Marilyn Manson, they listen to The Prodigy, they listen to Aphex Twin, plus like Travis Scott, Lil Baby, Gunna, they're gonna be able to like make all type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Do you ever try to build up with an artist? Like not only send for the big ones, let me say, just like try to build up with the smaller, like your friend or whatever. Do you ever tried it?
I mean, I've tried it, but like it's weird because a lot of underground artists, they be trying to be mysterious, man. Like they don't be dropping music, bro. I'm like, what we doing, bro? You need to do the yeet method, man. Like you just need to drop. So you could build your fan base. But I don't know. They just be like, I don't know if they just be having anxiety or what, or they're like trying to be mysterious. Like they be underground, they be like holding songs. I'm like, what you waiting on, bro?
It may be the productivity issue as well. Like I don't know, maybe they don't want to work as hard as the producer. I seen it.
Maybe, because that's the thing about music too, like it's so accessible, so it makes people lazy in their drive towards like achieving it, because they think they could just like post a song on TikTok and then they'll just just blow up. Where it's like, nah, that's still lightning in a bottle. That's still one in a whatever chance. For example, like underground artists, like the communication is so bad, bro. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, they can't communicate whatsoever. But like somebody like Uzi, I'll text Uzi like a beat and he'll reply back. Like, you would think Uzi, like this person, they got so much to do or whatever, but they're more responsive than like an underground artist. So it may be a thing, like you said, just lack of hunger.
That's probably another struggle as a producer, to really deal with the weird people that are not trying to communicate as you want and like trying to do all of that weird stuff instead of just like working on their craft and be consistent as well.
Too many bots out here, man.
Would you say that social media has a little bit of negative influence on the music? And also, I know social media is like with us for a long time, but we getting more far and more far when it comes to those TikTok and all of that stuff. Songs blowing up as a hits just by TikTok, not by itself, let me say. So would you say that it has bad influence in general on the music, how it sounds right now today?
I don't know. It's a good and a bad to everything. Like, everything's not just negative or positive. So like I said, it's a negative impact because it's so easy to make music and it's so accessible in the ways to promote your music. So you got people that just like fucking off and like making anything just because like they can put it up. But then at the same time, it gives an outlet to people that are super creative, but they don't have like a label or they don't have no backing. Overall, I feel like all of social media, like in a whole, I'll probably say it's positive. Has a positive effect on music.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You can express yourself in many different ways, basically, with all of that, even Instagram and videos and all of that stuff. So in general, it probably has more positive stuff, but you know, it's always both, right?
Yeah. And then think of it too, like for the consumer, this is the best music has ever been. Like, the world is like a record store now. Like, you have a record store on your phone. Like, you got Sound Exchange on your phone. You got FYE on your phone. Like I said, music is so accessible that now people, they have all the music on their phone and on their computer everywhere they go, but they don't want to go look for it. They want it to be put like in their playlist for them.
Yeah, that's facts as well. That's facts as well.
Versus back in the day, we didn't like know any underground. We didn't know anything. Like, if you didn't have, whenever you grew up, you might not have internet. We didn't have blogs and Twitter like we do now. But we was like, that made us have to go like scavenge for music and look for it. But now, like, we have YouTube, SoundCloud, but everybody's like, it's no good music. Like, we have 1 million people making music. You just don't want to go find it.
They cannot put everyone in the same position. Like, not everybody do the generic music or whatever. Like, there is a good music out there. Like you said, they just gotta go find it.
Yeah, it's made the consumer lazy because they just want, like with these playlists and stuff, they just like basically are getting fed the music rather than going to look for it.
I checked your Genius page and you got some Yeat songs as well?
Yeah, I knew Yeat like before he even started like making music, really. Yeah, because I knew him through Big Baby Gucci, another artist I used to work with.
How did you met them?
Big Baby Gucci, I met him same way, like just going on Twitter looking for artists to send beats to, and me and him really locked in, and we was making like crazy amounts of music. And I think he had came across Yeat and he was telling me to work with him. So I used to work with Yeat a lot. This is when he was like Lil Yeat.
And what year was that?
Man, this was probably like 2018, 2019. Yeah, this is before I even like got a placement with Uzi. Yeah, so like my career is like, my world is like weird, bro. Like, I knew a bunch of people like before they blew up. Like, I met people that are super successful. Like, I got contacts with people that are super successful, but like at the same time, like I'm kind of low key in a weird spot. But in 2025, like I'm ready to like really put myself out there.
Yeah, that's great. But you know, that's very unique journey, let me say, but it's very interesting in their own way.
Yeah, kind of like destiny. So like a really weird journey because like imagine like the first song you ever get a placement for like goes platinum. Like, it's really weird. But like I said, like everything, it has its good and its bad. Like, the bad is I ain't really get to build like my catalog versus like somebody like a Metro where you just building up songs for years. And it's like, I remember Metro when he did blah, blah, like 7 years ago. I've been following him. But like for me, like, it's kind of like I just popped on the scene with Prices, bro. Like, I just popped on the scene with Flooded the Face. So people don't really have no history with me, but that's why I'm really working to just build placements so I could build my catalog.
Yeah, thanks. And what about the plaque? Did you
What about it?
did you order it?
Yeah, I already got my plaque for EA. I got to get a plaque now for Pink Tape going platinum and Price is going platinum.
Crazy, crazy. What's your last advice for producers in general? What would you say they should remember from this whole video, and basically what you got to say to them to really help them achieve their goals?
I don't want to say nothing cliche like follow your dreams, but my main thing I would say is just literally don't give up. Like keep going. Like try to put in some energy towards what you want to achieve every day and just stay positive about it. Don't run around telling everybody like what you're trying to do, like what you're trying to accomplish, because that feedback is going to be negative, positive, like whatever. It's just going to mess with your goal, mess with your journey. So I would just say stay focused. It gets hard sometimes. Like it's okay to like feel down, but just don't give up. That's all I would say.
Yeah, great advice. So appreciate you pulling up today, man. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and you can share with us if you got any stuff on the way, any records.
Yeah, 2025. I can't say, but we loaded
Okay.
for sure.